Hey guys, it's Wayne. I'm doing a short video to explain a couple of things concerning hypnosis. And I'm doing this just to give some people some ideas of what hypnosis is and what the possibilities are. Hypnosis is not some voodoo magic. It's a very direct way to deal and make changes with the subconscious mind. It doesn't matter what challenges that you have, what issues that you have, what fears, phobias, concerns, whatever it is, can be handled and dealt with within hypnosis. Now, the degree of success depends on a couple of different things. One is your desire to make those changes. Because if you don't have any desire to make those changes, then regardless of how much hypnosis that you do, it's not going to happen because the imprint is not going to be allowed to the subconscious mind in order to facilitate those changes. But I want to kind of talk about hypnosis in general. I've dealt with a lot of different people, and in my research for the book that I'm writing, which is titled Why Everyone Needs a Hypnotist, I've come across some things, and it's really solidified my belief system. And my belief is this. I believe that hypnosis is probably the single greatest tool available to anybody across the board. Now, why would I say that? Well, I say that because of this. Hypnosis is the only modality, the only therapy, where a person that is being hypnotized is in charge. So you see, hypnosis is not taking control of somebody's mind, of their subconscious. It's the exact opposite. Hypnosis is the greatest control that a person being hypnotized can exert on themselves. And why is that? Because they're making the changes within themselves. See, when I work with people, and it doesn't matter, again, anxiety, depression, PTSD, stop smoking, weight loss, feel better about themselves, have a better self-image, meeting people. It doesn't matter. If you can come up with anything, I can show you a way that hypnosis can be a benefit to you, and in a very short period of time. But hypnosis has the ability, is that tool that once you experience it and you go to the level of depth to make those changes real for yourself, that is a tool that you will have access to from this point forward, so long as you understand how to use it. And that's something that I work with people on how to use that tool for themselves to make those changes at a later date. Most of the time when I work with people, I go through and they'll bring up an issue to me, and we start on that process. And the whole idea is to eliminate the issue, to mute its effects on a person, whether it's past, whether it's history, really doesn't matter. But as we go through that and you're led through that, imagine this, that you're being taught how to ride a bicycle. And being taught how to ride that bicycle is going to take about 4 to 6 sessions of instruction on how to ride that bicycle. But once you understand how to ride the bicycle, and once you ride the bicycle, then you'll never forget how to ride a bicycle. And that's the way hypnosis is once you go through the process of sessions for a particular issue, you're learning how to utilize that tool on yourself because I'm instructing it that way. By my very nature, I tend to be a teacher, an educator, a coach, because I want people to do for themselves. And I've chosen this vocation at a later stage of my life, in the last few years, simply because I enjoy helping people. 2, I like to see people have success. I like to see people have those changes. And this tool of hypnosis provides that. Now, once you understand hypnosis and once you can internalize that, if you want to go out and you want to learn how to meditate, you've got a jumping off point from what you've learned in hypnosis. If you need to use NLP on yourself, neuro-linguistic programming, you've got a jumping off point with hypnosis. If you want EFT, which is emotional freedom techniques, you've got a jumping off point with hypnosis. If you want to make changes to yourself that you have a bad habit, you're ahead of the game because you have a jumping off point with hypnosis. You see, I believe that hypnosis, and you can call it mind mapping, you can call it subconscious modification, you can put any clinical name on it, sounding name that you want on it, that you want to make yourself more comfortable. But for the sake of argument, and because of the history of hypnosis, we'll call it hypnosis. But once again, I'll paint it any picture that you want. We'll change it for you. Whatever makes you happy in order to move forward with something that solves the problem. See, so many times that people live with anxiety or depression or PTSD or all the other things that they've done. 90% of the clients that I work with across the country, via video, just like this, a two-way video chat, their comment to me is typically, I've tried everything else. Nothing has worked. You're my last hope. Hypnosis is my last hope. Now, there's a lot of hypnotists out there. Trust me, there's a lot of hypnotists out there. They're all great. There's a lot of great hypnotists out there. I am by no stretch of the imagination the main one, although I think I'm fairly good at what I do. But I approach it a little bit differently from what I've seen of my counterparts, because I look at a lot of different things other than just hypnosis. I use a lot of different tools at my disposal. And because of my history and because of my background in teaching and coaching and being an educator and wanting to help people on top of that, I approach it a little bit differently. See, I challenge people. And it depends on the individual. I may challenge them in such a way that may not make them comfortable. And that's okay, if that's what that person needs. So I have a good idea of where I can challenge people in different personalities and how to challenge them and how far I can stretch them and move them ahead. But the one thing that I want to make sure that I convey to a person is that I care, is that I'm interested in success. And because of that success, of that interest in success, I tend to interview people. And I interview people to the point to where they have to convince me as to why they want to work with me, why they want to solve the problem that they have, or the issue, the challenge, the fear, the phobia, whatever it is. They have to convince me of that. I ask certain questions and I'm looking for certain answers to those questions. If I don't get the answers that I need for those questions, then I reject working with them. They're not prepared. They're not at a point now to where I feel that I'm going to be able to have that level of success that I want for them. So I'll dismiss them and as nice as I can, ask them to come back at a later date. That later date may be a couple of weeks, because a lot of times once I dismiss a person, they'll go back and they'll really think about it, reformulate what they're trying to do, and even maybe have an epiphany about what it is that they're looking to accomplish and what they're willing to do. And then they'll come back and I go through the process again. And if they pass, then I will take them on as a client. Because see, I'm not really interested in the money aspect of what I do is a natural phenomenon of what I do. It's not the reason I do what I do. The money comes. That's I don't give that a lot of thought. Because if I'm money focused, then I'm doing things for the wrong reason. I will take people on as clients for the wrong reason. They will not have the level of success that they could have if I take them under those conditions. And I just don't take them. Money has never been a motivator for me, although it's right up there with air, trust me. I mean, it's important, but it's never been the reason for me to do anything that I've ever done. And I've been fairly successful at what I've done, at different things. I've had some very unsuccessful things as well, but so goes investments and stuff, but be that as it may. So I want this video to be, to convey to you people, you folks, people that see this, who have questions about hypnosis, that we can get into the technicalities and the why it works and all of that. But I want to just present something to you for you to consider hypnosis. Because if you don't, I truly believe that you're missing out on probably the greatest one tool that you could ever have for yourself or to use for yourself. It requires no drugs. It requires no long-term commitment. It doesn't require a lot of money in the scope of things. And it gives fairly immediate results. And when I say immediate results, I'm talking about in under 30 days. And sometimes way under 30 days. So anyway, I just want to encourage you, if you should have any questions, feel free to email me or text me. My email address is wayne@rmhypnosis.net. My website is rmhypnosis.net. If you didn't catch that. Check it out. If you have questions, let me know, and I'll catch you on the next one. Bye.